wraps up NFL talk. Before we get to curveball of the week here, obviously got to talk. It's still FCS playoffs. Bison move on after the Bozeman block by Hunter Pontius, blocks the PAT, which was a wild game, back and forth, all sorts of emotions. Bison find a way to pull it out, gets them with a team that beat them earlier in the year. And South Dakota's already scared, guys. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, but they were revoking NDSU's tickets because NDSU they travel very well, and they figured out the password for like if you join like their premium package or something, they figured out the access code to get in and to purchase tickets. It was playoffs. NDSU figured it out. Word spreads on NDSU fan pages to playoffs is the password. And what do you know? They all of a sudden, USD figures that out, and then they start revoking tickets. And now because they are scared, they're afraid. They knew that beating NDSU in the fourth game of the year was a one-time thing. That was their one luck card. It happens once every 5 or 6 years. They got lucky. And NDSU is on the revenge tour right now, and South Dakota is in their way. Big thing as far as keys to the game go is they can't get off to a slow start. The last 2 times they've played South Dakota, both in the Fargo Dome and Vermilion, they both got out to ugly, sluggish first halves, which it didn't cost them in Vermilion last year, but this year it came back to bite them in the butt. Big thing is getting off the field on third down, something they didn't do in that first game. They got to make sure they shore up that tackling, which is still a little bit suspect. Last week against Montana State, they were able to do it when they needed it, but still wasn't as consistent as you'd like to see or used to see. They need to get pressure on Aiden Bauman, collapse the pocket, don't let him scramble out. He's not much of a runner, but if you let him get outside of the pocket and find somebody downfield, give those receivers time, he will pick you apart. He's a really good player. His dad played in the NFL. Offensively for the Bison is keep the running backs involved. Last week was the first time that they had a running back rush for over 100 yards in Tamarick Williams. They got back to A-gap power. I think that was a little bit schematically because Montana State was bringing a safety down into the box, which really limited that quarterback run game. And then don't turn the ball over. Same thing. Last week, they didn't turn the ball over. They won the turnover differential. You can it's a little bit skewed because the one turnover NDSU did force was the final play of the first half on an interception, but they played a clean game offensively. They're able to do that again. I like their chances and because defensively, that's what South Dakota thrives off of. Statistically, they aren't great. They're good. They have like the 5th best pass defense and about 46, I think, rushing I saw. So fairly even, but in the end, NDSU is a 6.5 point favorite, and I think this game is close. I think this game is close at halftime, but in the end, I think NDSU makes some adjustments. They find ways to get stops. They keep all the things that I said they do, and they remember South Dakota celebrating on their home field, and they find a way to win. I'm going to go 31-20 Bison, and they find themselves back in the semifinals.